So this is the title, kind of summarizing a bit of it, giving a nice tease into it all. This one's got a bunch of updates, so we'll get into that. My coworker threw a pee-covered pregnancy test at people, and now there is chaos.
Was it positive? Was it her pee? Was it her pregnancy test? I have so many questions.
You wait and see. There's baby daddies that come into it. Oh, man.
Multiple daddies?
Not multiple, but there's a revelation of sorts. So, this is an enragingly dumb breach of basic managers, and I need to know I'm not crazy. So I'm technically in an executive role, but I don't have authority over people, just finances. But I was told I should have acted like a better manager during this whole fracas. Fracas? Is that the word? Fracas?
I think it's supposed to be farce.
I kind of can't believe someone would do something like this, especially since our office finally got 100% vaxxed. A group decision, everyone pulled together, very cool. And we've had to be so careful about even breathing near one another for the last 2 years.
I mean, pee is totally different, right? Comes out of a different hole.
Yeah.
There's no oxygen in that.
No. You can't breathe in pee, so clearly you can't get COVID from it. My coworker, Jessie, is pregnant and decided that she wanted to film a reaction video announcement telling everyone in our office. So this is a marketing firm, but we're a small satellite office, so corporate encourages us to do a lot of meet the staff and it's Tiffany's birthday type sharing posts to attract clients. We've had problems before with the higher-ups encouraging some oversharing and just a lot of bad personal boundaries in the office. I feel like this inspired Jessie and another coworker, Daniela, to do this pregnancy announcement by tossing people a positive pregnancy test so they could film the reactions.
So she peed on multiple sticks to throw to the women in her office.
What?
Just holding them out, peeing on all of them.
Two quick things.
That's
a positive pregnancy test is a used pregnancy test, which means it was urinated on. I used to be a lab tech before I made a career switch, so yes, even if it was wiped down with the cap on, it still has urine on it. And if it was a test from home that she brought with her in, bacteria and other unpleasantness could be incubating inside the plastic.
Just like she's incubating a baby.
Yeah. We just spent 2 years disinfecting our mail. Jessie started by tossing the used pregnancy test to Abby, who flung it when she realized what it was and yelled, "Oh, gross," which got a lot of people's attention and ruined Jessie's announcement. Oh, you a-hole. How dare you, Abby? Thinking of yourself and your own sanitariness. Oh, it's kind of office knowledge that Abby is a germaphobe. So while part of me gets that Jessie was excited and maybe didn't think things through, the rest of me feels like this was a really unfair position to put Abby in, along with all the other staff she was planning to throw a used peed-on pregnancy test at.
This is like Oprah. You get a pregnancy test and you get a pregnancy test. Joke's on you, they're used.
Just like shuriken. Just Jessie and Daniela. Or is it Daniela?
I think it's Daniela.
Screw it, it's Daniela now. They got super upset and offended, and everyone in the cubicle block started arguing. Because there were no managers or HR on site that day, and I would be the next ranking executive, I stepped in and diffused the situation as best I could.
What were they angry about, that someone reacted poorly to them throwing a used pregnancy stick at them?
I guess herpes.
How do you get angry about
it? It came from her
You
body.
ruined our moment. Just hold the pee-covered stick.
I just, in a sense, peed on you. What's the problem?
Yeah, some people like that.
Yeah, you haven't heard of golden showers? Gosh, you bigot, kink shamer. I pulled Jessie and Daniela aside and congratulated Jessie. But here's the part everyone's mad at. I told them it's never okay to hand someone something they urinated on, regardless of if they wiped it down and put the cap back on it. I said we're excited for Jessie, but that wasn't okay, and to throw the rest out or take it home.
Why would anyone get angry at that? That seems like a very diplomatic response.
Yeah.
That diffused the situation.
By the time the managers and HR got back in office, they were told multiple versions of the whole thing. Now, for the record, they're also all men.
They would have freaked out as well.
I got called in to explain what I saw. HR told me they're considering disciplinary actions for Abby and anybody else who reacted poorly unless they publicly apologize to Jessie. God damn. What logic? Wow. How is it not Jesse's fault? I told them that was a terrible idea. And not knowing what else to do, I called corporate HR and relayed the situation to our female head of HR, outlining what I saw, who said what, and the low-level bullying that Abby's been subjected to now. If someone asks Jessie about her pregnancy and she knows Abby's in earshot, she'll say loudly, "Oh, well, I guess my baby is gross, according to some people." Corporate HR, which is separate from our on-site HR, was horrified and put out a company-wide memo about keeping bodily fluids to yourself. I imagine it must be weird sometimes working in HR, realizing you have to tell people this. You have to tell adults that this isn't okay.
We literally had to wear a mask for 2 years. It was like, don't talk to anyone, don't touch anyone. And then suddenly it's like, here's a stick with my urine on it. Keep it. Enjoy. Cherish it. Cherish it like I cherish this baby.
Nobody's really doing anything about how badly Abby's getting bullied, and several of us, me included, are still being encouraged to write Jessie an apology letter, which I won't do. I get that a lot of people feel like they need to perform for social media, but I'm still stuck on the science and the double standard of it all. If I threw anything with my urine or bodily fluids on it other than a pregnancy test at a coworker, people would be livid. So I guess my question is, what the frick do I do?
If you were like filming this, wouldn't you kind of give the people you work with a heads up because maybe you need their permission to put them online?
I'm assuming they just, the workplace dynamic was, accept that you're always going to be filmed for some social media purpose,
And you could always just get a permanent marker and draw the plus sign on the pregnancy test and be like, it's true. I mean, they might have freaked out, but then when they realized it was not used, it was probably better than throwing a used one at them. Or, you could just make a cake that says, "Hey, I'm pregnant." Hey.
The easiest solution.
Nobody peed on that.
Yeah, just maybe don't, do a whole gender reveal thing too, otherwise you'll blow the building up. On to the update. I have a kind of wonderful update. Abby knew I wrote in, so she feels very supported and extends thanks to you all for having her back. For some clarity, all our management team and on-site HR staff are older men in their 50s or so. The rest of the office, early 20s to 30s. And despite being required to report to their respective corporate managers, they tend to sweep things under the rug, like interpersonal conflict, bullying, harassment, and sexism. Oh, shocker. And apparently,
wow, really?
Yeah. But this was the final straw. HR and corporate came down for an investigation. The guy yelling the loudest that we owed Jessie an apology and ignored reports about Abby being bullied? Jessie's baby daddy. It shouldn't have surprised me, but it did. So the one who was trying to get everyone to respect Jessie and was making the rule that, you know what, she's not in the wrong here, everyone else is for treating her wrong, happens to be the one who got her pregnant.
Her baby daddy's 20 to 30 years older than her.
Oh yeah, she's got to climb the corporate ladder somehow in that office, clearly. I mean, It's all run by the men there. I don't know a lot, but I know that some management was moved to different offices and locations, offered severances, or transfers to our parent company. Oh, so they got a better offer.
What a surprise. I am shocked.
Yeah. I also was home after testing positive for COVID. I didn't throw my positive tests at anyone, and I'm feeling much better. Ooh, scolding. So I missed the primary upheaval, but the consensus is that the management shakeup was really necessary, and our office vibe is back to being chill and fun.
So is Jessie still working there, or did she get moved? Because I feel like she probably should have been moved.
Has anyone seen the pregnancy announcements where the announcer puts the test in like a piece of pie and has the significant other eat the pie and records their face when they get to the test? So they basically ate the pea pie to find out they'll be a daddy. Not completely relevant, but I was reminded of that here. That's a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, do I want to watch this?
Oh, it's just a pie with a pregnancy stick in it.
Cause some motherfuckers be going to different states. Why is shit so fucking hard?
Because it got butter on it. It got butter.
It's hard because it got butter on it.
It got butter, so it shouldn't be that hard.
I don't like the end of that.
How is there a pregnancy test in that thing?
I don't know why my mom ain't calling me that.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, it's under the waffles.
That's tiny. That looks like a rat test.
What did it look like?
Why is it my food?
I would be feeling the same way once you realize it's a pregnancy test. I peed on something and put it in your food. You should be happy.
And not to mention, like, cooking plastic just leaking out all those toxins.
Yeah,
Delicious.
wow. Boyfriend's friend is non-stop flirting with me in front of fiancé. My boyfriend, 25, and I, 25 female, have been together for a little over 3 years now, and we're both completely happy with our relationship. From the beginning, his friend John, 24, not his real name, has always been a little flirty with me, or has made unsolicited comments about my appearance. About a year and a half ago, John started dating Jackie, 20-year-old female, also not her real name, and they quickly got engaged. My boyfriend and I have always questioned their relationship, not directly to them, but they don't seem like the best match. Anyway, to this day, John continues to flirt, stare at my baboo-boos, or make other comments about my appearance. At dinner the other night, he was talking about some celebrity, and talking directly to me said, "You're way hotter than this celebrity," with Jackie, the fiancé, sitting right next to him. I literally wear crew neck shirts and wear incredibly average outfits because it's so weird. I just ignore every comment he made about me, and try to have a pleasant conversation with Jackie, but as expected, she always seems a bit bummed out.
What a surprise there.
Yeah, I can imagine he probably talks about the OP to Jackie. Like, she must feel very just, is there a female version of emasculated?
A dehumanized?
Yeah.
Dehumanized even?
Yeah, is it effeminate? Effeminating or something? Maybe. On top of everything, Jackie and I look nothing alike, so I think those comments are even harder on her. So should my boyfriend talk to his friend about being a terrible fiancé? We've been going back and forth about it for the last 2 nights. Oh, and there's an update already? Ooh, okay. So edit an update. Hey everyone, thanks for the input. Like I said, it's my boyfriend's friend, not mine. I only associate with this guy because they've been friends for so long. Anyway, I'll talk with my boyfriend about it next time we see each other. John's behavior definitely needs to be fixed. And update, boyfriend is finally home and we were able to talk about it. He'll be talking with John tomorrow since it's the middle of the night right now. Thanks for all the input, everyone.
Just get him up right now. Sort your shit out, John.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2022. You don't need to. This was 4 days ago. Come on, where's the update? Oh, some comments. Okay. Ooh. This is 3 days ago. Hey, just wanted to add some more clarification on the whole situation because I'm getting quite a few comments which are essentially calling me dumb for even hanging out with this person at all. Oh, we're getting an origin story. First, when John originally disrespected me at the beginning of my relationship with my boyfriend, he was told to back off and that it was inappropriate how he was talking to me. He did, and he was much better for a while after that. Way to go, John. You're further cementing the belief that men can't change if they're told off for their bad behavior. Really making it great for guys out there who should be given some chance of growth. Now you're just cementing this idea that we should just, beat you up.
Beat you off.
Well, that's the point. No one's going to beat him off because he's being such a disgusting guy. Second, for a majority of my relationship, the pandemic has been around, meaning that we have not gotten many chances to spend time with this guy at all. We have maybe gotten all together maybe 10 times in the 2 years. This is more of a case of every time I'm in the presence of this guy, he acts like a creep. It's since the start of this year, 2022, that he's really picked up on the comments again. Third, I will admit that I should have called him out on this behavior sooner, but that's on me for socially awkward and not very outspoken. And lastly, John is not my friend, Jackie is not my friend. My boyfriend and John are friends. And yes, I've come to the realization that John is also a terrible friend and to my boyfriend with how he's treated me. Okay, and that's, no real further update from that.
What was the story under that?
Some 2-year-old story that they posted. The guy who assaulted me is trying to come back into my life.
Is it John?
Hey, I doubt it. Wait, hang on. 2 years ago, we've maybe gotten all together maybe 10 times in the 2 years? Is her current boyfriend this ex who assaulted her?
Well, at the bottom it says she wants to talk to her boyfriend about it.
Oh, okay, right, okay, so it's not the guy she's dating now isn't the person who assaulted her in the past. Okay, that's good. That was a interesting alarm bell.
Definitely don't open the lines of communication again.
Yeah. Overall, abusive guy trying to sweep it under the rug because he's embarrassed about it rather than saying openly admitting that what he did was wrong. And she's trying to check if it's a good idea to let him be in her life again, which is obviously no. No!
Just in case he wants to apologize. He doesn't.
He doesn't. He just wants to see if he can have another chance. And by chance, obviously, we mean sex. That's a shame. It's overall inconclusive at the moment. I hope we get an update soon. I want to know if John's properly dealt with.
Oh, this one?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. It's weird, but basically imprisoned someone in their own home for their own benefit.
Story being, am I the a-hole for refusing to work from home so now people can no longer bring their dogs to the office? Oh, they're puppos. Ooh, so this involves whether or not you support pets being around. So I'm a 32-year-old female. Here it goes. Everyone working in the office, dogs were never even an option. Pandemic, shut down, working from home. People trickle back in, and they are allowed to bring their dogs to ease the transition. My group stays back for another year. Everyone's finally called back to the office. I'm allergic to dogs, and the smell gives me migraines. Huge bummer, because I do like dogs, but it explains why in one foster home I was always feeling sick. Boss says we'll figure something out. People with their own offices are not willing to give them up. Boss tells me that maybe it's best if I work from home. I live in a tiny studio that barely fits my bed, and I have to sit on it or on my floor to have a workspace. I have one window. It's suffocating, and I was starting to go crazy living there during the pandemic and working from home. So, I say that if I can negotiate a raise that will be enough to help me to move to a larger place, I will consider working from home. Boss takes that to their boss, comes back and says unfortunately it's not in the budget. I say I'm not going back to work from home. And fair enough, I'd say. This isn't just a circumstance of you being selfish about it. This is genuinely your mental health. Some of us, like myself, totally fine to be working from home and things, but not everyone can, and that should be respected.
And also, they said they could bring dogs to ease the transition. Doesn't that mean that then the dogs would start spending more time at home alone?
Yeah.
Kind of like when you put a kid in childcare, you start with like one day they're in childcare and then, it builds up to 2 or 3. Isn't that the transition process? Because you just have 30 dogs in your office all the time now? How do you get any work done?
Boss insists it couldn't be as bad as I'm saying, and that everyone had to make adjustments. Yeah, at the moment it seems to be only this person who has to, though.
Yeah.
Mind you, Boss and most of my other coworkers live in houses that they own. Most have huge backyards, entire rooms to dedicate as an office, etc. So of course they don't think it's a big deal. I stand firm and remind them that someone can give me an office, but no one would. So unfortunately, everyone has to stop bringing the dogs to the office. Coworkers and other people in the building are saying I'm selfish for not just taking the deal and going back to work from home because they'd all love to be allowed to. When I've told people about the tiny apartment and how I can't afford more, they say things like, I'll just move in back with your parents or just stop buying Starbucks. Of course.
Thanks, I'm a millionaire now.
Yeah,
I also
I
stopped
forgot.
eating avocado toast.
All that avocado. Oh, that's what's stealing the money from us. It's not the fact that you get a 3% wage when inflation is like 8%. And start doing Uber or Uber Eats after work and move to this suburb, even as though I'm choosing to be in this position just to spite them. Others have been like, why can't you just take a Claritin and tell me making up the smell causing migraines?
Pretty sure you're not supposed to be on Claritin for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah, it's something you resort to. It's not something you just pop a pill of like it's a little mint. Each of them has a suggestion about how I should go out of my way to make all these changes, some of which I can't even do, just because people want to bring their dogs into the office. Am I really the a-hole for this? So they do just make a little quick update because a lot of people are saying this, but just as a note, due to circumstances I prefer to not get into too much, I cannot just go find a new job or a new place to live. These are things that are, for me, out of my control for the time being. Things will hopefully change in a few years. I mean, even with that note too, though, it really sounds like you're in a losing battle.
Also, your workplace sounds shit. They're not supporting you at all. They're like, sort your own life out. Goodbye.
Yeah, you stand firm for yourself and get to still be at work, but you're surrounded by people who absolutely despise and disrespect you and don't
They probably want to make you quit so they don't have to pay a severance package or whatever they do over in America.
Yeah, probably. Top comment, obviously, start looking for a better job. Again, understandable, it's out of your current situation, but this does seem like something you need to somehow, do what you can. People are a-holes in an office and they won't get over this. Your environment there is only going to get worse. Yeah, this person goes on a big tangent, kind of in more detail about that. Like, your workplace is just going to get worse for you as an experience. No one's going to treat you as a coworker and respectful and that kind of stuff. But I do agree with this whole thing. It's also your workplace's responsibility to accommodate your health requests, and asking for dogs to not be in the office is more than reasonable. And like you were saying, it's a transition. So it shouldn't be forever.
Especially seeing as one team started a year earlier than you. Surely they should be transitioned out, and there should be
I feel like a year's long
essentially
enough,
half
guys.
as many dogs from the second team going back in.
And
does every single person have a dog?
yeah.
How big is this office? How many times are people not working because they're taking their dog to the toilet, or making sure it has food, or making sure it has water, or being distracted by another dog? Like, wouldn't it just be constantly loud in there, and like you're at a puppy preschool?
Oh, I guess it depends on how trained the
corporate
dogs
office?
are.
Yeah.
But I mean, they said this in the story that remind them that someone can give me an office, but no one would. So like the boss here should be hammering this down. Like, okay, guys, as a group, you know, it'd be great if we could have all the dogs still here. Sure. But one of us
make that happen.
can't handle this. This isn't healthy for them. They can't be here, but they deserve to be here. So one of us has to decide to give up their office. You want your dogs here? Make the offer to make it worth everyone's while.
They obviously don't value her as an employee if they're not even pushing
no.
for that. They're just
No.
like, just out of sight, out of mind. Goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, some interesting AITAs here. Okay. If everyone else in your office can afford houses and such, why are you only able to afford a studio? And is an upgrade to a one-bedroom apartment that severe that it's unaffordable? No ales here is my verdict. I totally get your point, but I totally get their point too. OP wants to be rather quiet about it. Don't want to get into the reasons I'm in this place in life, but the simple answer is that they have and make more money than I do. And yes, it is unaffordable to me. It will be a few years before things change for me, unfortunately. But over to the Yatas. Yata, so the whole office has to accommodate one person? Maybe so, but now you're probably hated by everyone and they will make your life miserable. Just work from home.
Wow, that's how bullying works, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
You just belittle the person until they leave.
And someone justifying that the dogs are part of this particular office culture now. For one full year, dogs were allowed, and now because of one single person, dogs are suddenly disallowed. Yeah,
But
that's
they
usually
weren't.
how allergies work. What, should we just ban any kid who has a peanut allergy from attending schools ever and just let them have no education? And they go on, yeah. She also said that if someone gave her a personal office, she would be fine. So if she gets an office, then the smell won't bother her anymore. Is
Yeah.
she planning on avoiding hallways and public areas?
Closes the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a dog's not going to be coming running past you if you have the door closed.
She specifically said that people with their own offices are refusing to give up their dogs, so keeping the dogs away from her, locked in an office all day, is not acceptable to her. But if they give up an office for her, then it's suddenly okay. She says she likes dogs, but it doesn't sound like it. You sound like you're very, like, a bit of a dog Nazi, where if someone doesn't like dogs, you think they're like, you know, the
Horrible.
worst astrology sign. Your boss was trying to accommodate a lot of people, and you stopped him and made a lot of excuses for why your comfort was more important than theirs. I have really bad allergies too, and I would have tried many ways to make it work for other than asking for a promotion. I mean, the boss even offered you preferential treatment by offering to work from home. That's not
people-
preferential treatment. That's just trying to get rid of the problem.
Yeah. Some people don't think working from home is preferential treatment. Some people, it's a death sentence.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, that's a bit harsh, but...
But like, yeah, it's still the same point where it's just you're screwing over their, I guess, mental health in a sense.
Yeah, you've just done it for 2 years and your boss is like, all right, back you go.
Well, friends, that's going to end today's stories. As always, thank you for watching. All your support goes a long way. You know, liking, the subscribing, all the blah, 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 blahs. Thank you, as always, if you do that on the daily with these videos. We love your faces. Emily, say the goodbye-byes. Goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Hooroo. Woo!